Okay, so now we move on to the Lightning Network. I'm going to install LND first. And so what I'll do is I'll be following the Raspberry Bolt guides that you can find at raspberrybolt.org. I'm going to go over to the Lightning section, and I'm going to go into the Lightning client, and I'm just going to go through the installation instructions. So the first thing that we need to do is actually download the latest release of LND, which is at the GitHub repository. So I'm just going to go to the releases section. And here, I'm going to go down and download the correct version for me is Linux AMD 64 for usual Ubuntu nodes. So we'll go with copy this link, and we'll cd into our downloads folder and wget that release. Okay, so we'll also get the public key. So let's download that. And we will also download the manifest files. So let's get all that. Okay, copy a link, wget that, and copy a link, wget that one as well. Okay. And we will then verify that. And we should see good signature. So fantastic, that's good. And we will do the checksum as well. So let's copy that and paste it through, and it should say okay. All right, so now we're ready to install. Let's unzip it. So I'm just going to copy this, remembering this is for ARM64, so it's not going to quite work. We're on AMD 64. So do that and then press tab, and that'll autofill the AMD 64 file name. So we will untar it. And then it's just a matter of installing it to USR local bin. So we will copy up to here, paste that through, autocomplete /star, and that is like so. And put in our password, and it's now installed, LND --version. You can see that it has now been installed. Fantastic. Okay. We'll skip all of this stuff and we'll go straight into an LND conf file. The first thing that we're going to do is get the sample configuration. This one is available here, so you can click on this link here and it'll take you to it. I'm going to go to the raw, and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to create a .lnd folder in my home directory. So mkdir.lnd, and that you won't see it there, but you'll see it when I ll, and it'll be in there. So I'm just going to go cd.lnd, and I'm going to wget that sample.conf. So now I have sample lnd conf, and I'm going to rename that. So I'm just going to move it. So sample to lnd.conf. Okay. So now what I have is an lnd.conf file. Okay. Now what we need to do is basically fill out this entire, I guess, LND sample LND conf file. So let's go nano lnd.conf, and let's go through these settings here and sort of one by one make them what we want it to see. Essentially, what these semicolons are basically, I guess, amounts or line items that are not going to be implemented into the configuration. So they're just sitting there as inactive. To activate, you just delete the semicolon, and that line item becomes active on the LND conf. So the first setting that I'm going to change is TLS extra IP. This will allow other devices to connect through to our Lightning node. And what that will do is allow us to connect like Zeus, RTL, those sorts of things to our Lightning node. So I'm just going to put that as 0.0.0. And TLS extra domain, I'm going to also put 0.0.0.0. Okay. Going further down, we'll make listen 0.0.0.0 on port 9735. So let's enable that. Okay. And we'll also enable RPC listen on that port as well. So let's open that one up. We'll go with this one. Okay, moving along. We'll open up REST as well. So open that up. Okay, so this is your wallet unlock password file. What we'll do is we will create a password file as well. So that will be in home/satoshi/.lnd/ we'll just call this password.txt. Okay, and we will make sure that that is wallet unlock allow create true. So we'll remove the semicolon on that. Okay, so for the alias, you can name that whatever you'd like to publicly name your node, you can do so. So I'm just going to put this as, I don't know, my first Lightning node. Really doesn't matter what you name it, but you can choose whatever, whatever alias you'd like. Now we'll go to Bitcoin active is true, and we'll also do mainnet being true. So we'll take that out. And I think SimNet, we can remove that and inactivate that. And we also want, instead of Bitcoin node being BTCD, so inactivate that. We want Bitcoin node to be Bitcoin D, which is what we're using at the moment. Those Bitcoin D settings will need to be amended. So we need the Bitcoin D user username. So mine was Bitcoin, and my password is Bitcoin as well. Okay, so we'll come to the Tor section. We will activate it later, but let's first connect over ClearNet, and then we can talk about exposing this through Tor, which we'll do in after this thing has sort of connected up and synchronized and bootstrapped the node. So we will change these Tor settings a little bit later, and I think everything there. Yeah, I think that's probably about it in terms of settings that you can use. There are some other suggestions here that you can go through if you want. This is a template LND conf file that you can potentially use as well, but I'm just using the one that is coming from LND and then just editing as I see fit. It's got all options, so I like to see those. And if you want to read those, you can go through and see what other options are out there. Okay, so we come to the end of the conf file, which is quite a large one. So I'm going to Control X, Y, and enter. And now I think it's just time to run LND. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's go back into it. Okay. And we need to change. We also need to open these ones up as well. So, okay. And now let's try LND. Okay. The lock file doesn't exist. So what we'll do is we'll just for now, get those to inactivated. And let's see if we can just start up LND. Okay, so that looks like it has started. What we want to do in our next in another terminal is, whilst this is running, ln CLI create. So we need to go ln CLI create, and it'll ask you for a password. Now I'm just going to put in a simple password of password123, and I'm going to confirm that password. It'll ask you, do you have an existing cipher seed mnemonic or extended master root key that you want to use? Yes or no. I don't have one because I'm going to start this one up from scratch. So we're going to create a new seed. Your cipher seed can optionally be encrypted. Input your passphrase if you wish to encrypt it, or enter to proceed without a seed phrase. So if you want to use a seed phrase, you can. I'm just going to go with no seed phrase. And so this is a 24-word seed that you will need to write down. So you can see here it started to do the gossiping. Give it a couple of minutes, and it will start to sort of get all the information from the Lightning Network for other peers and those sorts of things. So in the meantime, let's fill out this thing such that the LND conf file, such that it runs over Tor, as well as the password.txt. So in our LND folder, you'll see that there's now a full-on directory being made there. The next thing that we need to do is create that password.txt. So let's nano password.txt, and that password was password123 to open up the wallet. So let's Control X, Y, and enter. I will change the lnd.conf file to reflect some of these changes that we've made. So the first one was the wallet password. So I'm just going to look for password, and we will activate that, and now we also want to do the Tor stuff. We'll just scroll right down to the end where it comes to the Tor section. Here it is here. So what we need to do is Tor active equals true. So activate that line. We'll do stream isolation, activate that. And we will also do Tor v3 equals true. Okay. All right, so let's Control X, Y, and enter. And let's restart LND. So Control C to stop it. And let's start it back up again by hitting LND. Okay, so it looks like it has unlocked the wallet, so opened wallet, so that's good. And it's just now going through and gossiping through over Tor. So now let's move on to getting this thing booted on the start of the machine, like this application. So what we'll do is we'll create a service file. Now there is a service file in the GitHub repository, I believe. So we'll go LND here. We'll go to file and we'll type in .service, and we will grab the raw, and we'll copy this and cd into etc systemd system, and we will sudo wget that lnd.service file, and we will sudo nano lnd.service. Okay, so this one here, it is USR local bin LND, and I'm just going to stop LND now, and you can type in where is LND just to make sure USR local bin LND. The user is going to be my username, which is Satoshi, and the group Satoshi. And everything else is looking pretty good. So let's try this out. Control X, Y, and enter. And we'll go sudo systemctl enable lnd.service. And we'll just go journal ctl -fu lnd.service. and we'll go sudo systemctl start LND.service. And you can see that that's running away in the background there. So sudo systemctl status LND.service. Fantastic. So it looks like it's bootstrapped and synchronizing up to the LND network, which is good. But now what we need to do is actually connect software up to LND such that we can control this in a nice graphical interface, like a web interface, rather than using command line. So we'll need to move on to the RTL side of things. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support the work that I'm doing, head on over to ministryofnodes.com and click on the support button. I accept Bitcoin, Lightning, PayPal, and credit card. If you want one-on-one consulting, head on over to the consulting page and book into my calendar widget. I can help you with holding your own keys, running your own node, and privacy best practices. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.